The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the webinar that we're going to talk about boosting revenue with electric radiant heat and just the efficiency of it all. So thank you again for joining us. A little bit about Heat My Floors. We are a subsidiary of Wright-Hennepin Electrical Cooperative, and we're located just west of Minneapolis in a town called Rockford. And it's approximately 35 minutes from downtown Minneapolis, so nice and close to downtown. And just a few of the products that we've brought on board to distribute to all of you. The STEP Warm Floor product, Sysco boilers, Danfoss cables, Convect air heaters, and one of the newer ones to our mix is HeatTrack. It's a snow melting mat. You may have seen us in the past on some of the shows on the DIY network, Bath Crashers, Sweat Equity, and also we've been featured in the Family Handyman magazine. And what's nice about being in Minneapolis is we get a chance to be a part of these shows because they film in basically two major cities, Sacramento and Minneapolis. So we're in a hotbed of that, and it's been a lot of fun. One of our employees here, Dennis Schrammel, has been on many of these shows and really has enjoyed being a part of that, and really the national exposure that we get with a lot of our products. So that's been a lot of fun. A little bit about me, your host today. My name is Steve Wallstead. I am the sales manager here at Heat My Floors. I've been here since June of 2010, and it's been a great time here, really seeing the business grow, and it's been a lot of fun getting a chance to do these webinars and expose other people to what we've got going on here at Wright-Hennepin Electric and Heat My Floors. Things I like to do outside of the office. I love to hunt. We've got that right around the corner here. Actually, this weekend we've got our Minnesota duck opener, and I love to fish and really just spend time with the family, getting a chance to be with them and enjoying the great outdoors. So we'll jump into the kind of the benefits of the radiant heating. The biggest thing is comfort. I think what we would do here is really try to sell that, and I think it's important to convey that to your customers. This is the difference between radiant and forced air heating. Really the biggest thing there is we want it where your body is, and eye level and down into your core and down into your feet, and that's really where you want to have that warmth. And with forced air, we just it goes above your head into the ceiling area and kind of congregates that, so hot air rises, and radiant just really brings it to objects and bodies, and that's really a benefit there. The other thing too is it reduces energy costs because it's more evenly heated throughout the space. And really another thing with those allergy sufferers out there is improves really the indoor air quality. Really getting a chance to talk about that because we have a lot of allergy sufferers here, and it seems like people are just becoming more and more exposed to allergies. And the airborne dust and things blowing around, pollen, really reduces that because there is no air moving around with radiant heat. And also the other benefit is just it's easy to zone. And with bathrooms and kitchens and different areas of the home, whereas a forced air system, you typically in a lot of homes there's one zone on the main level, and either the upstairs is really warm and the basement's very, very cool. So really some the energy savings that we can talk about, and like we talked about earlier in the earlier slide, is just the way that the heat is distributed in the space. And you can see in the picture to your left, or excuse me, to your right, that the forced air comes out and kind of tumbles up the ceiling, kind of hot air rises again, and then tumbles back down to the cold air return. Whereas the radiant heat, or the radiant floor picture that we're showing you there, is really where we want it, down where our body's going to be, upwards around that 6 feet or so. We're going to get that nice even temperature at your feet and right where your core is. And also, when we talk about forced air and the pressure differences, so when a door opens, all that air just gets sucked out, and so with radiant we just don't have a lot of that mix like that. And also the energy efficiency. Can't stress that enough. Radiant is just a really great way to heat a home, and we can do lower temperature settings rather than having, again, with that forced air, approximately 110 degrees coming out. We can really regulate that with some of our products down to that mid 80 range. So really a great thing there. And also we can be compatible with solar with a lot of these. So we're starting to hear more and more of that. Just got a chance to look at a website where there's just some, energy is just going to continue to go up, especially electric. And there's alternative renewable energy that's really going to become more and more of a player here in the future. So kind of the radiant market, a lot of it's new construction, and the majority of that is going to be your residential applications. And we see that these statistics here are what we're seeing here in our business as well. The one thing that I wanted to mention here on this slide is that commercial area, that marketplace. That is an area that really we've got a lot of room to expand into that. And I think it's a frontier that really can be tapped into with the electric radiant heat products we're about to talk today. We've got a lot of concrete in these places, and the majority of them have been heating HVAC people that have been put those in, rooftop units, all your different furnaces. But I really think there's a space for us to play in and be a part of that that is really kind of an untapped area for us. And just the types of radiant heating floor options here, we've got really there's two. You're going to see hydronic, which is your water tubing applications. Typically you're going to find those in slabs, some larger areas, and you're typically going to have those poured over essentially because of tubing. So we've got this tube anywhere from 3/8 inch up to inch in diameter that is going to need some sort of product to encapsulate that, and typically it's done with a concrete slab or some of the self-levelers or your gypsum products that can be poured over. Then you've got electric radiant systems, which we're going to talk about more in depth today. We've got sheet-mounted cables and low-voltage mats, and some films out there as well. So there's a lot of different types of ways to heat rooms. There's a lot on this slide, so we'll cover just some pieces here. Hopefully give you a chance to get a glimpse of some comparisons and where we're going to talk. And let's kind of focus in on the flooring types. Hydronic, you can do all flooring types with that because you're going to pour a concrete floor over. There's no really risk of overheating like there would be with a cable or mat. With cables and mats, you can do, typically they're saying tile really only, and when you look at the fine print, that's one thing that you really want to pay attention to is when they talk about carpets and other things, these filaments in those wires can potentially overheat, whereas low voltage mats, we can go again with all flooring types and not have that risk of overheating. That's a huge benefit there. The energy efficiency, we talk about it here, is you can see average for the hydronic. We've got low for the cables just because it's against high voltage, and then you've got your low voltage, which just gives us some energy efficiency there. Architects, for the architects present today, thank you for joining. Really, when you're designing homes, the transitions really can become a big issue, especially for remodeling applications. And the biggest thing is the tubes are really thick, and there's a lot that it goes over the top of those with the poured floor or concrete. With the mats and cables, 1/8 of an inch, so nice and thin. Typically, you're going to put thin set over the top, or a poured floor potentially, or right over the top of a cement board, and then your cable and mat, and then thin set and tile. Whereas the low voltage mats were 3/64 of an inch thick. So very thin, and we cover a nice wide area with those mats. Maintenance costs, kind of go over that, but really low voltage mats I want to key in there is none. There isn't any maintenance. Hydronic, you've got your boilers and some potentially tube leakings, things like that. And also material costs. You can see that the low voltage mats, a little more expensive up front, but the payback is in the operating costs. So we want to make sure that we're going to discuss that further, just the return on investment that we talk about there. Really the limitations on the sizing, the hydronic and low voltage mats, any size. Cables are typically limited to an area of less than 300 square feet because it is live voltage, and it can be a lot of amps on your panel that may not be open. So one of our products that we mentioned earlier that we have that we distribute here in Rockford is the Danfoss product, and really a diverse product. I just want to go over a little bit of history of Danfoss. It's a global company located in Denmark, really a large company, $6 billion in sales, factories located across U.S. and Canada, been around a long time. They're a leader in the cable manufacturing, and that's why we brought them on board. Just a really great product to have in our product arsenal, and we just really like working with them. The focus is, there's 5 products that they have. We're today going to focus on the LX, which is the floor heating cables and mats, and then the roof and gutter de-icing products, the RX product. They do have really a full depth and breadth of product line that we have access to, and so do you, so through us. So here's the LX floor heating mat and cable systems. Really the benefit there to the mat system is the labor savings that you're going to experience, because the cable is actually mounted in the self-adhesive back of the mat. So for a contractor going over the top of Durock potentially, or HardieBacker, even over a concrete floor, they can just roll that out simply and go ahead and thin set and tile. So very spook, easy from that standpoint. And with the cables, for those of you who have worked with cables, they're on a spool, and you go ahead and serpentine those throughout the floor and bring those back to the thermostat. And it can be, there's some time involved, and also for those of you who've done it, there's the markers that they have on there, 1/4 of the way, 1/2 of the way, 3/4 of the way. So we need to make sure that it's designed properly on the front end, and so there's enough cable to adequately warm the floor in that bathroom or kitchen, whatnot. And a good comprehensive warranty on that, 10 years. So another benefit there. Really a good product. We propose those, a lot of tile applications, and have had really great success with that. And here's kind of the layering. I wanted to just show you kind of how this looks, just how we stratify that. You've got your concrete, wood, or subfloor, and then your adhesive, thin set, and then your cement board, or we call them a CBU, cement backer unit, and then your mat. You can see the heating mat there. You've got the mesh, and you also, again, could be a cable application. The adhesive, and then tile. Or there could be a variety of things. We could have a gypsum poured floor, or a self-leveler, or a dry tamp, or there's a variety of ways to encapsulate that mat or cable system, and then your finished floor, which happens to be in this case tile. The other product we want to discuss with you on the Danfoss product line is the RX roof and gutter de-icing product. We've got winter coming up here very close, right on our heels here in Minnesota, and a lot of these cables are out on roofs, and we're glad to be a part of that here in Minnesota. It comes in a kit, and it comes with what you need, cables and the clip, instructions on how to do that. Really, I want to talk about the construction as well. Just the construction of the product, the Danfoss versus the competitive. They can see that they're wrapping that ground, and we got a dual conductor wrapped in there in the Teflon case there, and really it's just a really well done product. I mean, they've really done a lot of R&D and come out with a really good product. And it's 100% aluminum foiled on the shield there, so protection. Really the biggest thing is making sure that this cable is going to last is a big thing. Now kind of jumping into another product that we have, and really what I want you to gather today is, at the start of the presentation, we're helping you boost that revenue by giving you some energy efficient products, electric products, to bring into your product line and just broaden your experience and scope of business that maybe that you're not tapping into now, that we can help be a part of. And Step Warm Floor helps us do that, again, along with the Danfoss. Little of the history of Step Warm Floor. It is developed by Stefan Ergens. He's a fluid power engineer from Norway. And I actually had a chance to go down to St. Louis, Missouri, where their manufacturing facility is, the beginning of September. Had a chance to tour the facility. Beautiful facility located just outside of St. Louis. Really, the thing I noticed there too is just the clean, quality control, just the love that they have for making this product and getting it out to the public and to contractors. So, been first developed in 1981 in Volvo car seats. So kind of an interesting beginning to a product that just has evolved. So fast forward 30 plus years, it's evolved into something really special, and we're going to talk to you about that product here very shortly. The big thing is it's been out, it's gone through just a evolution, and it's really a great product that we can provide you, and it's award-winning. So other people, not only us, the distributor, and you, the contractors, but other people have noticed that this is a special product. And hundreds of thousands of square feet of this have been installed throughout the world in some very unique ways. We're going to go over some of those here today. So the benefits of STEP, the biggest thing at the top of this list, and it should be at the top of yours as well when you talk to customers, is the energy efficiency piece. Getting a chance to talk about that with the customer and having that their ears open to that and why it is very important for you, the contractor, to portray to the customer. Self-regulation, the nanotechnology, we'll go into that deeper. The low voltage, 24 volts, AC or DC. So what are the advantages of that? We're gonna talk to you about just the wide variety of applications, especially with solar and wind. Thin. Again, we can't stress that enough. We talked about it in an earlier slide. When designing homes, floor transitions are going to be discussed, and they need to be, and this is giving you a really thin product to work with. So we can talk about the energy efficiency here. Really, the graph here is depicting is hydronic and cable, and then STEP, warm floor. Really, what we want to have you see here is that there's more wattage needed for the cable system to do what STEP warm floor can do with less. So we need 2.5 times more wattage, the cables do, to do what we can. And same thing with the hydronics, 2 times more wattage compared to us. So we got, you can see the numbers there, 4.5 watts a square foot versus the 9.3 for hydronic to do the equivalent heat output, and then 11.2 with the cables. So just a lot more wattage needed that really we can do it in an efficient way with a STEP warm floor product. And I hope that if there's one thing you take away today is just the energy efficiency and just the product that you may not be well aware of, STEP warm floor, that can be involved in a variety of applications that you have going on right now. Talking about the self-regulation piece and the nanotechnology, really it acts as a floor sensor. So the mat is 12 inches wide, and it really just reacts in microscopic ways. So it can really be beneficial to an area that was getting some ambient, some kind of warmth coming in the doors or windows, that you're getting a chance to that area that doesn't need to be, the energy can be distributed to other areas. So it acts as one big floor sensor, and it can't overheat. I think that's a big thing too, is that when we talk about electric cables, the potential is there to overheat, especially with carpets and some of the other floorings that really isn't recommended. Whereas the STEP warm floor technology with the self-regulation, it can't. It physically can't get over desired temperature, and we're going to go into those products here soon. The surface temperature, to speak to the self-regulation piece here, So at the surface temperature, as that increases in temperature and it achieves, it's starting to get closer to achieving that 82 degrees with our 7.8 watt product, it just needs less energy to continue to maintain that. So once it achieves that, it maintains it very well and even over the floor. And also the other big thing too is no thermostats needed. So simply you could put this on a light switch or a breaker and just turn it on and off during the seasons. Typically our heating season here in Minnesota is ranging from 5 to 6 months, so I just have it on during that time. So 24 volts AC or DC. So what does that mean to you? It means that we need to use a transformer to regulate that. So we got 120 or 240 coming into the transformer, and then regulating that down to 24 volts AC or DC. We can do that directly to solar and wind, and we have applications out there that we know of that are using it that way. And here's one application right here in South Minneapolis here. That is using solar to do that. Thin. Again, we come back to it again. This is the third time we've talked about it. I'm hoping that it's sinking in that this is a thin product, thickness of a penny, and it's ideal for remodeling and new construction for that matter to minimize floor transitions. So the two products that we most often sell, and it comes in varying widths, but this, what I'm going to talk to you right here in this slide is a 12-inch wide element. The first one on top there is a 7.8 watts a square foot. That maxes out at 82 degrees, physically cannot get to 83. So when we talk about a thermostat, and why we really don't need one is because once it achieves that 82, it self-regulates. The thermostat essentially would, if you have a large area, we see thermostats go in quite frequently. That thermostat would actually knock down the temperature. If it got maybe 82, maybe is a little too warm, which we haven't heard a ton of, but maybe you want to knock it down to 78 or 80. You can certainly do that with the thermostat. With the 9 watt a square foot element, that gets to an 84 degree temperature, and we're typically quoting these for tile applications, essentially for tile so conductive. We want to make sure that we space that properly and get enough warmth and drive that energy through the floor and into your feet where you need it. Really some unique advantages of STEP is that picture that's a real picture, job that we've worked on. That person is actually nailing the wood floor right through the STEP warm floor element. We need to make sure that we always talk about avoiding the bus braids that distribute the energy to the element. The nails and staples can go through the main body of the element and fasten that to the floor. And if you look real closely, you actually see some staples that the contractor put down prior to laying the wood floor down. If you look real closely, you'll see those. And with wood flooring, for instance, we want to make sure that that's going perpendicular or not running with. It's not running parallel with the element. It just makes for an easy installation and less rocking of that wood back and forth. So just a unique advantage that, when we go to the state fairs and we go to the shows, and really the people are, their eyes are, they're just, the wow factor is there when you say you can nail and staple through this. They don't quite understand how that's possible. We walk them through that, and we're hoping that that's a benefit to you essentially because you may be installing this for, say, a tile contractor or a wood floor contractor, and then leaving, and then kind of turning that over, handing the baton to the next trade that's going to follow you. You want to make sure that this works. You don't want the finger pointing to come back, and you just don't have that with this product, which is a huge benefit. Another one that you may not be familiar with is the staple up application. Now this is a real job, and you can put this under the floor joist to heat, you name it, carpet, tile, wood. We're just going to, we want to know what the floor covering is on top to determine what wattage we can put through there. And the biggest thing here is we want designs from you or floor layouts so we can design this properly with a 9-inch wide. See, what I have here is a 2 9-inch wide elements here that is in the joist to properly get the heat there. And we also want to always talk about insulation, and you can do that in a couple different ways. The bad insulation, you can roll that out and then put that up in there and then staple it to the wood joist, and then get that up nice and tight. You want to make sure it's nice and tight up to there. And the other thing too is you can friction fit some polystyrene, and that seems to work real well too. We just want to make sure we have insulation so it's not dumping that warmth that we're trying to go up into the floor down into the space below. And just so you all know, warm goes to cold. So if it's colder below, it's going to naturally go down there and warm that up. So we want to make sure it goes up into the floor and into the finished floor above. Just a unique application here when we talk about the uniqueness of it. This one actually happens to be out in Reno, Nevada. One of the STEP warm floor distributors out there out west put this together, and really it's a picture that it's an amazing picture to look at and just see the before and after. This happens to be a spa, and put it right in the seat, so when people are sitting down, they're feeling this nice warmth. You can actually see that when they sit down there, it wraps around and goes down to where their calves would be in their feet. So just a really neat application. Do these exist out there? Sure they do. And we hope that we're giving you opportunities to look at this product and say, wow, I know a job that would be a great fit for this. I want to look into doing that there. We're hoping that piques your interest here. Now, STEP warm floor really covers both areas where you're going to find cables and hydronic heating. If you remember the slide, about 6 slides before, where does it fit? Well, it fits across that entire space of both cables and hydronic. And just this slide, I wanted to just reiterate that cables are typically doing 300 square feet and less, and larger areas are typically done, or you're seeing out there in the marketplace with hydronic. And really, the benefit to you, the contractor, is if you're not part of that HVAC or hydronic, is where can I find and grow business? And I think we're hoping that your eyes are open to areas of or jobs out there where you could be the contractor that gets the job or awarded the job with using the STEP warm floor product. And that's a big thing today, is how can we help you, the contractor, boost that revenue coming in your doors. We always here at Heat My Floors, whenever we talk about either the cables or STEP warm floor, we always want to make sure we talk about insulation. Our sales reps are trained to talk about this to make sure that our system, or the system we propose to you, is running as efficient as it can be. And insulation helps us achieve that. There's a variety of insulations out there. We talked about the staple up applications, so that bad insulation where you see the blue gloves there pushing that bad insulation up. That would be a example of where you would use BAT, or the friction fit polystyrene, the pink foam down the lower right. And then also I have a picture of cork, and we're going to talk to you more about some other ones that we have here locally that we stock and discuss with customers. One of those products is actually called ProPanel, and you may have heard of this product. This product is used for tile applications, and it's essentially polystyrene or insulation sandwiched between 2 layers of cementitious compound. So almost, if you can picture it, looking like an Oreo cookie, with the white filling being the insulation and the cookie part being the actual concrete. And we typically we stock here the 1/4 inch product that gives you a 1.15 R value. And again, we just want to make sure we just give you an option to propose. We strongly encourage it for the energy efficiency, and it's just enough to break that heat sink, or that warmth going down into the slab below and going up into the tile and thin set where the customer's feet is going to be. So what's nice is this comes in a 3x5 sheet, very light, easy to handle, scores well with a utility knife and a straight edge to get some nice clean cuts. Breaks really easy and relatively easy to install with thin set and some mortar there. Meets industry standards and really can be used on walls too. So if there's those projects out there where you can do step warm for the walls, we're all for it. The other products that we have, that we have, is Cerazorb, and that's a synthetic cork product. 4x4 sheet, very light, 3/16 of an inch thick. And what's nice about that one is that it comes in two ways. It comes in a peel and stick application, or also comes a non-pressure sensitive adhesive where you actually would get a glue from us and apply that to the concrete or flooring. This product is it's antimicrobial, so nothing is going to grow in there. Provides even some sound deadening capabilities, just kind of another auxiliary benefit to that product. And we find that being used carpet, tile, laminates, some of your engineered wood floors, really versatile product that we've brought on board, and we've had real good success with that. Also cuts really easy with a utility knife. Also, the other product that we've worked with, that we've brought in for a little bit for a few jobs, and it was really it's a great product, and it's just there's not the amount of volume going out with the cork, because we've got other options there with easier to ship, easier for people to pick up would be the Cerazorb. But cork, again, comes in the 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch variety, and meets the TCA, so Tile Council of America, meets the different specifications, and used for tile, carpet, wood. It's really a versatile product as well. Here's kind of the layering for that. And again, we start from the concrete or the wood subfloor, working up. We've got the insulation as your next piece, and then your low voltage mat or film, what we're going to call that. And then you got a vapor barrier, and this happens to be a vapor barrier for carpet and pad. You wouldn't necessarily you're not going to use that vapor barrier for an application for tile. You would actually use thin set and tile and then build up from there. So this just wanted to show you that you can use a variety of flooring with this product as well. I think the other thing is when you go into a job, there's really not a lot of limitations with the Step 1-4 product. So knowing and feeling comfortable that I have a product in my portfolio that's going to work with all the flooring out there: carpet, tile, wood, vinyl, LVT, your luxury vinyl tiles, and so forth. So we've got some architects in attendance today and builders, and again, just thank you for joining us today. Just wanted to talk about, so why? I mean, what's the value to you? Well, the product's been Greener Product certified, so it complies with the LEED program, and it complies with all the standards that you have out there. Also, it's available at the ARCAT. So when you look, you'll see the specifications were listed there, and go ahead and use that for your portfolio within your architectural firm or builder. And then also, I think we've kind of touched on it, and I'm just going to reiterate it here, just the variety of applications that we can do with the Step 1-4 product. I think that's a major benefit that we're hoping that you pick up on here today. The value to the contractor. The Step 1-4 is really going to provide you the most energy efficient radiant product that we have, and that is on the market, period. And want to make sure that you are talking about that with the customers and feel confident that that is the case. And really, what's nice to the contractor too is, if for instance you wanted to stock this product, maybe you wanted to have, it comes to us in 174-foot rolls. Maybe you just want to have these for your guys, your electricians or contractor, whoever's going to be putting this in. You just want to have rolls of this on hand. We would just provide you the crimps and things and other things that you would need for it. There's no waste. What you don't use on one job, you can bring to the next. Cables, you just can't do that. Cables, we're specifying for you the exact length of cable that you need for that room, and then going from there. Also with the contractors, just the discount structure that you have through us. We want to make sure contractors are bringing repeat business. We want to make sure that you're treated special, and our trained staff is going to work with you from start to finish, and really just getting a chance to be a part of these projects has been really a blessing. It's just been fun to work with you and just all the different applications that we've been a part of. Matter of fact, we just had one unique application. Talk about unique applications. One of our sales reps was dealing with a customer that was wanting to heat a house for their cats. A little, I don't know, it was out in the garage, and just wanted to make sure that there was some warmth in there for the cats as the winter came, and put that together for them and ship that off actually just on Tuesday. So we're hoping to, it's going to work great, and we're hoping to get a testimonial from that person just to broaden those testimonials that we have out there. So 20-year warranty on the STEP product. Really a great product. Again, nice warranty, and then 10 years on the Danfoss product. So really some rock solid warranties there. This slide here, I just want to tell you that the product's been specified. It's out there. It's been recognized, and you can see all the different organizations and standards that it does meet. NEC, UL, it's been tested. The other thing is, it meets it looks at the ASHRAE guidelines. It meets those, and also the Radiant Panel Association. They've recognized it as a good radiant product, and also just local building codes recognize. So wanted to speak to that as well for you. So kind of the dollars and cents of it all. We want to make sure that, okay, so we've talked about the product, the unique applications, so kind of the nuts and bolts of it. But now, hey, how am I going to sell this to the customer, and what is that sell? So here we're going to discuss this project here is actually a four-season porch. You can see 13 feet wide by 12.6. And what we've done for this customer was design this and do the layout for them. Proper spacing, the element listed 1 through 10. So I just want to show you this picture before we get into the kind of the return on investment piece. This one here was happened to be a tile application. So great application. Really, again, the variety is there for the product: carpet, tile, and wood with no problem. So here's the kind of the return on investment that you're going to get from us. This is the against the hydronic, or if we're going up against a hydronic application, here kind of is the financials of that. Basically, year 3, the customer will have it paid off, and then you got the operating costs, what it's going to be through year 10, and you can see the savings of more than $2,100 over that period of 10 years. So if you're looking at both options, that's a very important piece to bring up. Yes, the product is more expensive up front, but the payoff, you can see it right here, plain as day. And we actually made some assumptions here. 10 cents a kilowatt hour, which seems to be the national average for electric. And we also talk about some heating degree days, so we've done that for Minneapolis, and we know that the average temperature through December through February is 7 degrees. So we've made these assumptions, put them in there, and then heating degree days is 8,300 to calculate that return on investment. So the step 1 and 4, you can see there's $74 for the annual operating costs, and then you've got the hydronic tubing of $355, so an annual savings of $281 for that up against the hydronic. So now we're going to talk about the electric. A little longer payback. Cables can be less expensive up front than the step 1 and 4. What you have here is an 8-year payback in this particular case, and then there's over the 10-year period you got $400 savings for that. We're hoping that what you see here is that the return on investment is it's going to vary in some cases depending on what products we're going up against. But this is a cable system that we went up against here, and $74 for that, $221 for the cables, annual savings of $147. So there is some savings there for sure. And here's that kind of brought together though for really want to show you here is just the different ways to heat that space. So you've got your natural gas, propane. Boy, the propane is going up, and then you've got cable, which we just talked about earlier, $221, and then the step. So just dollars to heat a space was what I really wanted to show you here. So last but not least, another unique application for Step 114, and we hope this is something that really kind of opens your eyes to some really special applications that we can do out there with you. Roof melt. We can go right underneath the shingles. Aesthetically pleasing, self-regulating, again, same technology as the floor, and we can do in the gutter as well. And you can see a picture there, just dramatic. I mean, just showing pictures to customers if we've got areas that have a high collection of snow or some of the, a couple years back we had such a bad year of ice damming. We can avoid that and take care of the house and the asset that they have in the home. So here I just want to show you a cross-section of a gutter melt part. We can put that behind the drip edge, or excuse me, behind the gutter or in the gutter. So again, versatility. We're going to work through those applications with you, and again, you can nail and staple through that. Huge advantage there. So that really covers today the webinar presentation of kind of the how we can help you boost your revenue, increase that revenue, and just with energy efficient products. Here's our team. I just wanted to say a thank you on behalf of the entire Heat My Floors team. Thank you for attending the webinar, and just want to show you kind of where you can see us next. We'd love to hear from you. Call us today. We'd love to work on projects today. We're here for you. But we're also going to be at the the AIA show here in Minneapolis at the Convention Center in November. Come see us at booth 614. And then the other show that's going to be in November, right after that show, kind of piggybacking that, is the Home and Holiday Show, again at the Minneapolis Home and Garden, or Minneapolis Convention Center. So here's our sales team. We got Nick Haugen. You can reach him. We got Tracy Bizey. There's her email and contact information. Again, they'd love to hear from you today. Would be awesome, or tomorrow, whenever you have that project coming up, or questions. Now we actually will go into those questions right now. If you have any questions, certainly type those in and send them over our way. If we don't answer them today, all your questions, certainly a phone call, an email would be great. You can check out our website at heatmyfloors.com. It's got all that information there. We got frequently asked questions, things like that. And wanted to just kind of go over some questions now. We've got a question here. What's the approximate time to install? Wonderful question. As you learn, just like with anything new, I think that first time is going to be a little different, and we're not trying to paint a picture that it's going to be exactly the same as putting in cables, and it's not. But we figured, we've heard back from contractors, and we've done our own research because we've helped put these in ourselves and in people's homes right here in our company. We figured 2 to 3 minutes a square foot is a good general rule of thumb to install that. Potentially the first time, it might be 5 minutes. But I think the big is that make sure you slow down and do it right the first time, and you'll have success moving forward with that product. So thank you for that question. Hopefully that answers it on that piece. We're hoping that you give us a chance to work through those quotes with you and get a chance to come out and actually show you how that's done. And we hope to have a contractor training here in-house here very soon. That's another place you can come see us, and more details of that will follow here very shortly. The other thing is another question, excuse me, I just had my name page over there, excuse me. Can Step 114 go in the showers? Yes, it can. We want to make sure that, again, it's low voltage, so you know that. And also, when we propose that, we want to make sure that when we put that in the shower that we're not putting on the same breaker or terminal as it would be for the floor outside of that shower in the bathroom floor area. So we'll help you design that. But yes, the answer to that question is yes, it can go in the showers. Actually, we've seen that on tub decks and steps leading up to tub decks as well. So it's, again, another versatile way to do that. The other thing is, can these products be used for total heat? The answer to that is yes. I love saying yes a lot, and I hope you say yes to when we call you about doing jobs as well. But yes, product can be used as total heat. We can do a heat loss analysis for you to determine what type of spacing, product that goes on the floor, and we do that all for you. And that comes in part of the package. When we ask for a quote request back from you, we actually ask that question if it's going to be floor warming or primary heat. So we can do both. Another question we have here is, I've heard wood floors are sensitive to temperature, those temperature changes. What product would you propose? Definitely would propose the Step Warm Floor. And the Step Warm Floor, for that matter, is we can nail and staple through that. So we don't necessarily need a poured floor like that earlier picture. And also the 7.8 watt element that was designed specifically, it was designed specifically for wood floor in mind. Because wood floors, you really don't want to have that surface temperature get above 80 degrees. And with the 7.8 watt product, we're right there. We get right below, right around that 80 degree mark, and it provides a nice evenly heated floor for that. So we have a question here. What transformer is recommended? That's from Xavier. Well, thank you, Xavier, for that question. So we have multiple transformers that we're going to help you design, and I think that's another great benefit to the sales team we have here in their education and their knowledge of the product. We have a 250 watt transformer for our smaller bathrooms, a 500 watt transformer maybe for a little larger bathroom. We've got a 1,000 watt transformer, and then we've got our largest transformer, which is a 1,500 watt. So again, 250, 500, 1,000, and 1,500 watt transformers. So depending on the application, Xavier, we would design and specifically propose a transformer for you. What we're seeing most likely in the bathrooms is, again, the 250s and 500s. But what we want to do is always want to make sure we pay attention to is we can load those up to 90% of the capacity. So a 500 watt transformer, we would load up to 450 watts. And then the other one, the 1,000 watt transformer, we're going to 900. And the 1,500 watt transformer going to 1,350 watts. So again, and what I didn't talk to today, and we can certainly do in future webinars and go through these with you individually, is the proposal that you get from us. It's detailed in wiring runs, how long the wire runs go, transformers, how we load those transformers, how evenly we do that. So again, another benefit to using us here at Heat My Floors is just the dedication to you, the contractor, and walking you through every step along the way. So that's the last question we have here. Again, a big thank you from the Step Warm Floor, the Heat My Floors team here in Minneapolis, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. And have a great day and enjoy this beautiful weather we're having here. Thank you.